Oh, welcome, ladies and gents. So this is a few days old, and there's kind of two stories here. One Piece absolutely craters and bodies AHSOKA off of the chart. So One Piece is a massive success, embarrassing Disney. One Piece. Yeah, I liked the show, and I know it's a huge manga, but a live-action anime bodies Star Wars. You got to think about that in context. That's insane. That is insane. It goes to show how far Star Wars has fallen as a brand, significantly. It has absolutely fallen in the dirt. So, AHSOKA viewership falls off Nielsen's overall top 10 chart. So the second week is nearly identical to Andor, and that was chasing the audience. So Lucasfilm's latest Star Wars Disney Plus AHSOKA show fell off the Nielsen's overall top 10 chart in its second week. So what happened? What's the... Again, let's have a look. So here it is. Okay. Oh, so it's not there then. Huh. Well, that ain't good, is it? So in the first week, the first two episodes were at 829, and then down here. Oh. It's not there at all. Huh. That's not good. But One Piece is. Netflix's One Piece is. That's funny, don't you think? I do find it comical how Suits is just blowing up still. It's found like a second home on streaming. Good for it, I guess. But yeah, like I said, look, AHSOKA, 829 million minutes viewed. Cool, fine, top 5. And then just bodied, completely gone. Absolutely bodied. So One Piece smashes it, embarrasses them. Oh, and then... Oh yeah, what's this? So you have to go to the top 10 originals list, where the series took the 5th spot. So that's only the originals. So overall, it gets obliterated out of the stratosphere. And then on the originals, well, One Piece is still number 1. And AHSOKA is only number 5. And these numbers are not good either. For, 487 million minutes. That's not great. Out of 3 episodes. That's quite bad. Well, the whole thing's bad, to be fair. But anyway, let's take a look. So, if one does a simple minutes viewed divided by the runtime, you would think that AHSOKA's viewership might have increased by nearly 5 million people. But in the first week, the first 2 episodes were released with a total runtime of 101. If you plug in 829 million minutes viewed to the equation, that Disney counts, that's how they get their views, it comes to 8.2 million. So using the same equation for the third episode, you would divide 487 million minutes by 37 minutes. And the runtime, because that's the runtime of the third episode, and then you get to 13.1 million. So you'd think, oh yeah, it's gone up. But then VR, friend of the channel, points out that Nielsen's reporting is not just tracking watch time for the third episode, but it actually includes the previous 2 episodes as well. Sorry, what? That's terrible then, isn't it? That's really bad, actually. So this is what a friend of the channel said, VR. And then there's the question of how many times were those first 2 episodes rewatched in this second measurement week to get up to episode 3. So they're quantifying all of it. Or how many new people came in this week having never seen episode 1 and 2 in the first week of release and catching it now. All of that factors into the 487 million minutes watched. So that's counted for 3 episodes basically. That's terrible. So meaning that number is not strictly the third episode, that's the cumulative total of every bit of consumption of AHSOKA from Monday morning at midnight through the end of the second week. That's woeful. So we did say this. To give you an example, let's say 15% of that watch time, that 487 million minutes, were people who either watched the first 2 episodes for the first time or people who went back and consumed those 2 episodes a second time in anticipation of the third. That brings the actual watch time for this third episode way down, and that's only 15%, let's say that number was 25%. Yeah, it goes down and down and down and down. So the Nielsen numbers covering the week of Ahsoka's third episode are similar to what we saw from Andor back in September of last year. Andor's premiere episode, which saw the release of the show's first 3 episodes, saw the show bring in 624 million minutes. So that placed 6th on the Nielsen's chart. And that was the only... Well, it just couldn't break into the top 10 overall, basically. But in Andor's second week, 485 million minutes, according to Nielsen. That's basically identical. So isn't it interesting how those numbers, that fan interest, that brand damage, seemingly is exactly the same across the board now? So how did Andor showrunner Tony Gilroy react to the viewership numbers? He said, I think I was surprised. I thought the show would go the other way, that we would have this gigantic instantaneous audience that would just be everywhere, but that it would take forever for non-Star Wars people or critics or my cohort of friends to get involved in the show. The opposite happened. We ended up with all this critical praise, all this deep appreciation and understanding from really surprising number of sources, and we're chasing the audience. So yeah, Ahsoka is not the massive success that Lucasfilm has stated last week. In fact, it's an unmitigated disaster. So, yeah, Gilroy claimed Andor was chasing the audience. But it goes to show that this is probably about right. These numbers that were released, 1.2 million households. Those, it's terrible. It's fascinating that One Piece, again, One Piece. I appreciate One Piece has a massive fan base, huge. But on paper, you'd think One Piece versus Star Wars. Star Wars. Well, maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you'd think One Piece versus Star Wars was a silly matchup. That Star Wars would absolutely obliterate One Piece off the map. But now because of what Star Wars has become, completely in the bin. Completely in the bin. I mean, this is not good. This is a huge bomb for Lucasfilm. To get such terrible numbers. You know, I'm not sat here saying that this is a terrible show or anything. I've liked elements of it. I've disliked elements of it. But this is just a numbers game. The brand is damaged, man. The brand has severe lackluster interest from general audiences. And because you've lost the fans, you've lost it now. It's done. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop it down below. Give the video a like and a share. Take care.